communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
You got it. Next news. Loud. Next news. Next news. Got it. Thank you. Are we starting now? And here's the news. A sailor accused of starting the fire that destroyed the USS Bonhomme Richard will face a court-martial for arson, the Navy said Friday. Seaman recruit Ryan Mays, 20, faces 2 counts in military court for the July 2020 blaze that injured dozens of personnel aboard the amphibious assault ship as the fire burned for 5 days and sent acrid smoke wafting over San Diego. It marked one of the worst non-combat warship disasters in recent memory, and the vessel had to be scrapped. Excuse me. It would cost an estimated $4 billion to replace. Mays set the fire because he was disgruntled after dropping out of Navy SEAL training, prosecutors said. Excuse me. His defense lawyer said there was no physical evidence connecting him to the blaze. Mays was charged with aggravated arson and the willful hazarding of a vessel. Defense lawyer Gary Barthel said the decision to proceed the trial came despite a hearing officer's recommendation that there wasn't enough evidence to win a conviction after a preliminary hearing in December. Next news. Dale Buist knew running a commercial greenhouse would pose challenges. He just never expected a water shortage to be among them. Not in Michigan, with its vast aquatic riches. Yet, a couple of irrigation wells yielded only a trickle, and one quickly ran dry. He installed equipment to capture rainwater for the plants. Then a drinking water well failed. Finally, Buist spent $350,000 connecting to a pipeline that supplies nearby Grand Rapids. In quotes, "My greenhouse sits 12 miles from Lake Michigan, one of the greatest sources of fresh water in the world," the Ottawa County grower said. "And I didn't have enough." His struggle, resulting from a geological quirk and heavy demand for farmers, developers, and homeowners in a surging section of southwest Michigan, is a cautionary tale for a state counting on its reputation as a water paradise to be a competitive economic advantage as climate change afflicts hotter, drier regions. Next news. In good times or bad, American presidents come to Congress with a diagnosis that hardly differs over the decades. In their State of the Union speeches, they declare the state of our union is strong, or words very much like it. President Joe Biden's fellow Americans, though, have other ideas about the state they're in, and little hope his State of the Union address Tuesday night can turn anything around. America's strength is being sharply tested from within, and now from afar. As fate, overnight, made Biden a wartime president in someone else's conflict, leading the West's response to a Russian invasion of Ukraine that makes all the other problems worse. The State of the Union is disunity and division. The state of exhaustion from the pandemic. It's about feeling gouged at the grocery store and gas pump. It's so low that some Americans, including prominent ones, are exalting Russian President Vladimir Putin in his attack on the democracy. Next news. There's a glaring carve-out in President Joe Biden's sanctions against Russia. Oil and natural gas from that country will continue to flow freely to the rest of the world, and money will keep flowing into Russia. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Biden defended his decision to preserve access to Russian energy in order to, in quotes, to limit the pain the American people are feeling at the gas pump. But some academics, lawmakers, and other analysts say that excluding an industry at the heart of the Russian economy essentially limits the sanctions and could embolden Russian President Vladimir Putin. Energy experts are the whole game, said Columbia University historian Adam Tooze, an expert on finance and European politics. Politicians in the United States and Europe chose to carve out the one sector that might truly be decisive. I don't think Russia is blind to what is going on, and it must indicate to them that the West does not really have the stomach for a painful fight over Ukraine. End quotes. We're going to take a short break from the daily English news of Millennium News TV 24/7. Please stay with us. Thank you.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Hello and welcome back to Millennium TV News 24. We're going to continue with today's headlines. Thank you. The United States and European nations agreed Saturday to impose the most potentially crippling financial penalties yet on Russia over its unrelenting invasion of Ukraine, going after the central bank reserves that underpin the Russian economy and severing some Russian banks from a vital global financial network. The decision, announced as Ukrainian forces battled Saturday to hold Russian forces back from Ukraine's capital, Kiev, and residents sheltered in subway tunnels, basements, and underground garages, has potential to spread to the pain of Western retaliation for President Vladimir Putin's invasion to ordinary Russians, far more than previous rounds of penalties. In quotes, Putin embarked on a path aiming to destroy Ukraine. But what he is also doing, in fact, is destroying the future of his own country. End quotes. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said. Next news. Fencing installed around the U.S. Capitol for months after the January 2021 insurrection will be put back up before President Joe Biden's State of the Union address on Tuesday, as concerns grow about potential demonstrations or truck convoys snarling traffic in the nation's capital. Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger said in a statement Sunday that the fence will be erected around the Capitol building for the speech and is being put up out of an abundance of caution in consultation with the Secret Service. The move comes as officials in Washington prepare for trucker convoys that are planning protests against pandemic restrictions beginning this week. The Pentagon has already approved the deployment of 700 unarmed National Guard troops to be used to assist with traffic control during potential demonstrations. Next news. Leading Republicans spent much of 3 days avoiding Donald Trump's chief grievances or ignoring him altogether, as they unified behind a midterm message designed to win back the voters the polarizing former president alienated while in office. That changed Saturday night, facing thousands of cheering activists at the Conservative Political Action Conference's annual meeting. Trump falsely blamed his 2020 election loss on widespread voter fraud, for which there is no evidence. As Russian troops advanced on the Ukrainian capital in an invasion widely condemned by Western leaders, Trump described Russian President Vladimir Putin as smart. Of course it's smart, Trump said, doubling down on praise of the Russian leader that many other Republicans have avoided in the wake of the invasion. But the real problem is our leaders are dumb. So dumb. End quotes. Next news. Ukraine's tangled political history with Russia has its counterpart in the religious landscape, with Ukraine's majority Orthodox Christian population divided between an independent-minded group based in Kiev and another loyal to its patriarch in Moscow. But while there have been appeals to religious nationalism both in Russia and Ukraine, religious loyalty doesn't mirror political fealty amid Ukraine's fight for survival. Even though Russian President Vladimir Putin justified his invasion of Ukraine in part as a defense of the Moscow-oriented Orthodox Church. Leaders of both Ukrainian Orthodox factions are fiercely denouncing the Russian invasion, as if Ukraine's significant Catholic, as is Ukraine's significant Catholic minority. In quotes, with prayer on our lips, with our love of God, for Ukraine, for our neighbors, we fight against evil, and we will see victory, end quotes, vowed Metropolitan Epiphany, head of the Kiev-based Orthodox Church of Ukraine. We're going to take a short break from the daily English news of Millennium TV News 24/7. Please stay with us. Thank you.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Hello and welcome back to Millennium TV 24 News, Global News Update today. Here's the news continued. Vladimir Putin put his nuclear forces on increased alert on Sunday in an unprecedented escalation of tension with the West since the collapse of the Soviet Union over Russia's massive conventional assault of Ukraine. which entered its fourth day with fighting in the streets of the country's second largest city. Here are the things to know about the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the security crisis in Eastern Europe. In a shocking move that immediately unearthed fears that thought permanently buried from the Cold War of the previous century, Putin ordered Russian nuclear weapons prepared for increased readiness to launch, ratcheting up tensions with Europe and the United States over the conflict that is dangerously poised to expand beyond the former frontier of the defunct USSR. Next news. Russia unleashed a wave of attacks on Ukraine, targeting airfields and fuel facilities in what appeared to be the next phase of an invasion that has been slowed by fierce resistance. The US and EU responded with weapons and ammunition for the outnumbered Ukrainians and powerful sanctions intended to further isolate Moscow. Huge explosions lit up the sky early Sunday south of the capital, Kiev, where people hunkered down in homes, underground garages, and subway stations in anticipation of a full-scale assault by Russian forces. Flames billowed into the sky before dawn from an oil depot near an airbase in Vasilkiv, where there has been intense fighting, according to the town's mayor. President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said another explosion was at the civilian Zuliani airport. Next news. 28th Screen Actors Guild Awards will kick off with a Hamilton reunion. Feature a Lifetime Achievement Award for Helen Mirren, and maybe supply a preview for the upcoming Academy Awards. The SAG Awards, taking place at Barker Hangar in Santa Monica, California, begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, and air on both TNT and TBS. The show will also be available to stream Monday on HBO Max. After the January Golden Globes were a non-event, the Screen Actors Guild Awards will be Hollywood's first major televised in-person award show, complete with a red carpet and teary-eyed speeches this year. While the Academy Awards aren't mandating vaccination for presenters, just attendees, it's required for the SAG Awards, which are voted on by the Hollywood Actors Guild SAG-AFTRA. One actor in the case of the Paramount series Yellowstone, Fari J. Smith, has said he won't attend because he isn't vaccinated. Next news. Saturday Night Live normally kicks off each show with some humor, but the comedy sketch series opened with a tribute performance to Ukraine amid the ongoing Russian invasion. The Ukrainian chorus Dumka of New York performed a prayer for Ukraine during the opening of SNL on Saturday. Cast members Kate McKinnon and Cecily Strong introduced the choir. The choir sang the melancholy tune in front of a live audience and table of candles that spelled the name of Ukraine's capital city, Kiev. Russian troops launched an attack on Ukraine this week. The ongoing invasion involves explosions and airstrikes on the city. We're going to take a short break from the daily English news of Millennium News TV 24/7. Please stay with us. Thank you.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Hello and welcome back to Millennium's TV News Global Network 24. Here's a continuation of the news. This time of year, there's really only one place you'll find Big Chief Joseph Monk Baudreau in his New Orleans house sewing beadwork with needle and thread as he puts together the elaborate outfits worn by the city's famed Mardi Gras Indians. Almost every year since he was a child, Boudreaux has stepped out on the morning of Fat Tuesday in a new suit, created by his own hand, accompanied by other members of his tribe, and singing the distinctive music he helped share with the world. I can't stop. I can't. Because I was told as a kid, you keep the tradition going, because if you let it go, it's going to be gone forever. End quotes. Boudreaux said, sitting in his New Orleans home. And I've got to make sure my son and my grandkids that they take that torch and carry it on. End quotes. Next news. St. Mary's finally has its own perfect record at home and a memorable win over top-ranked Gonzaga to go with it. Tommy Kuze had 14 points and 6 rebounds for number 23, St. Mary's, which beat number 1, Gonzaga, 67-57 on Saturday night to prevent the Bulldogs from completing another undefeated run in the West Coast Conference. That's really special, Gales coach Randy Bennett said after his squad completed a 16-0 run at McKeon Pavilion. It's been hard to get. We lost it 1 year to Loyola Marymount in our last home game. It's been something hard to get, and we finally got it. Especially when it's against the number 1 team in the country, it just makes it a night you'll never forget. End quotes. The top 6 teams in the AP poll all lost Saturday, and 7 of the top 9, only number 7, Duke, won. Next news. Russia spent upwards of $50 billion to host the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, then concocted the most elaborate doping scheme in history, all to cement its standing as a global sports superpower. The country's invasion of Ukraine, coming on the heels of yet another drug scandal that consumed the Beijing Olympics earlier this month, could serve to undermine an athletic dynasty tarnished by cheating and deception, and often countered with only tepid pushback from international sports leaders. If a further reckoning comes, it would damage Russia's ability to host events domestically and dominate them abroad. It would deliver a financial and psychological blow. It would compromise the image that President Vladimir Putin and leaders before him have tried to cultivate. One of a prosperous country, fortified by strong athletes who beat their international opponents in the games people play. Next news. John Morant spun and flipped in an over-the-shoulder layup. He threw down a vicious alley-oop dunk. Memphis All-Star put on quite a display for the Chicago crowd. It might have gotten a little extra lift seeing highlights of Michael Jordan on the video board. Morant scored a franchise record 46 points, and the Grizzlies hung on to beat DeMar DeRozan and the Bulls 116 to 110 on Saturday night. I did watch it, he said, and then I did start scoring a lot. It probably played a part in it, end quote. The Grizzlies let a 17-point lead shrink to one before squeezing it out after losing two in a row. They also stopped Chicago's six-game winning streak. Morant surpassed his previous regular season high of 44 points. He had 47 in a playoff loss to Utah last season. This has been the daily global news update of Millennium News TV 24/7. Log in. Get the latest news on all our social networking sites. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok is Millennium News 24. Also, our YouTube channel is News Channel M24. Viewers now both on network broadcasting, Android, and iOS devices. Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, also all smart TV platforms. Please enjoy our entertainment and latest news and views. Our Millennium TV, www.millenniumnews24.com. Stay with Millennium News 24/7. Thank you. My name is Todd David Goldfinger. Please pray for our brothers and sisters in Ukraine, and God bless you. Thank you.